Welcome to the Royal London 360 Superstock TT press conference, and our top three: in third place Ryan Farquhar, in second place Michael Dunlop, and our winner John McGuinness. Well, Ryan, another great performance in a Superstock TT, second last year, third this year. It looked as if you were really going to be challenging in the early stages until, well, this man turned it on.
There's no doubt about that. You know, you can definitely say John's king of the mountain. You know, I take my hat off to him, but I didn't get off to the best starts. You know, it just took me a few minutes to get dialed in. You know, I could see John had pulled a bit of time on me whenever we come out of Union Mills, and I just got the head down from there. And once I got to Craig Willie's Hill out onto Cronkovati, I could see John in front of him, and I figured, you know, we're about even at that stage. And I just kept riding as hard and as steady as I could. And at one stage, you know, I think I was a few seconds in front, but once we come in for the pit stop, you know, John was gone, and the sweat started running into my eyes. I had a bit of a problem with oil leaking out of the bike, and I just couldn't ride any harder. The sun was a bit of an issue, you know, with the sweat in my eyes through Greebra and that there, and I just thought, you know, I thought I was going to get a second, and then Michael, he pipped me in the last lap, but, you know, fair play to them. I just rode as hard and steady as I could the whole race, and I'm delighted to get a podium.
Fair play to you as well, because it's not been the best of weeks for you up to now, has it? And indeed, I gather there was a lot of work going on last night.
Well, the last practice session I done both my 600 and the Superstock bike. The gearbox started playing up, and a big thanks to John Dugan. He lent me an engine from a stalker. And John Holden, you know, he had a problem with his Kawasaki ZX6 engine in the sidecar, so I borrowed acquired a gearbox off him, you know, so a big thanks to John as well. Hopefully he's okay, and in Nobles I think he had a bit of a moment in the sidecar practice lap, but big thanks to everybody. All the lads worked so hard, all my sponsors, you know, my family, you know, just we've been working 7 days a week, you know, over this past 52 weeks, you know, and it's just such hard work, you know, whenever you do it, more or less everyone trying to run your own team, but whenever you're, you know, sitting here in the podium with the likes of John McGuinness and Michael Dunlop, Bruce Anstey was behind us, you know, and I'm just totally over the moon with it, you know, I'm delighted.
Well said there, Ryan. In second place, of course, is Michael Dunlop, and a bit like Ryan, Michael, it's been a dog of a week up until now.
Yeah, it's not been the best of week, you know, and we really did struggle. Obviously leading that first 600 race by 20 seconds really sort of pissed me off after breaking down the second lap, but you know, everybody knows the Isle of Man's here to push your limits, and thankfully, you know, we got the Superstock to finish and it never missed a beat.
129.2 on that last lap. I mean, that is a heck of a performance on, well, a bike that presumably the rear tyre was starting to wear.
Yeah, I just went for it, just kept plugging away. The first lap I struggled, that's where I lost all my time, but I just kept chipping away, and I was happy enough. And the back tyre was beautiful when it came in. Actually, I thought it was going to be in worse shape, but it wasn't. The tyre worked really well, and you know, big thanks to Jed. He's built me a great engine. The engine was perfect, and the motor was going really well, and it was just my own fault. That was all, and we live and learn.
How are you going to learn from this yourself? I mean, the team is really behind you, aren't they? So you say that it was down to you. Why do you say that? I
just didn't ride hard enough in the first lap. You know, the bike worked well. The whole team's been working well. Everybody in the team, everybody that sponsors me, you know, we were all getting on well. And just that first lap, you know, I think I got P10 at somewhere. And then I just kept plugging away. And a couple of laps in, I was starting to get up further and further. And I was fourth coming into the pits, and before I came out I was sixth, and I just kept chipping away, and just seen the gap getting smaller, but I just need to ride a bit harder in the first lap and make it count.
Congratulations on second place there, Michael. A tremendous last lap as well. Great riding. But the winner, and well, he's just had a swig of the old champagne there, and I saw just before this press conference started, Clive Padgett came in and took a big swallow out of that bottle as well. What a day it's been for him as well as you, John.
Yeah, fantastic. I always find it hard to know what to say up here, but there's you know, the relationship between me and Clive and the whole sort of Paget dynasty, if you like. It's been really great since 2007, and I know that I've been really busy at this TT, sort of getting dragged from pillar to post, doing a lot of media stuff, and a lot of work yesterday, which is okay, but there was so much work going on behind the scenes in the Paget awning. No stone's been unturned. Everything's been checked and double checked, and they put one of the best handlings, the sweetest handling and motorcycles under me, and I've been riding it week in, week out in BSB, and I don't know. It's the first time I ever believed I could actually win that race. I don't know why. There's a lot of Superstock specialists out there, and I've never been able to just match their pace. But I had clear road, looked down the road. I said to myself, I could win this. So I had a real good go off the start and pushed hard and watched my boards, and bit of issue with fuel and stuff like that. Was a bit short on fuel, but I'd been riding the Isle of Man long enough to conserve a bit of fuel on the last lap, and I didn't blip it on the downshifts and bits and bobs, and run a little bit, shut off a bit earlier in some of the corners, and had a bit of juice left to blast it to the line to get the win. But conditions out there are amazing again. A little bit of issues with the sun, but the work that goes on is unbelievable with everything. The testing we do, the Dunlop tyres. It was a Dunlop 1, 2, 3 there again on the podium. So I'm just over the moon. I've finished second 3 or 4 times in this race, and this is just the icing on the cake for me. It's great.
Well, 19 times you've been on the top step of that podium, at the number 1 position there in the winners' enclosure. However, after you've been interviewed by Chris Kinley, you normally look pretty tired and you're shaking hands, you kiss the family. There was a clenched fist. This one means something, doesn't it? Because you've been chasing it for a while. I
have been chasing it a long time, and I've had good rides, and I've had average rides on Superstock Manx, but this one was fantastic. Not an incredibly fast pace, but a consistent 4 laps and a great pit stop by the team. So it's important for the manufacturers. You can go and buy one of them Hondas in the shop from the shop for 10,000 quid and stick some bits and bobs on it, and you can lap the course at nearly 129 mile an hour. That's how special these bikes are, and it's good. It was one of the toughest races. It was closest. It was real close, and I had to concentrate all the way to the end. And so them races do actually mean a lot to me, and I'm just pleased that I could give a bit back to the team, because I know Bruce won this morning, and Clive said to me, I'll probably get it wrong, but I think out of the last 24 races we've raced as Pagets in the team, either me, Hutchie or Bruce has won 11 of them, so that's how strong Paget is in the Isle of Man. So I'm just just happy for them and happy for myself and my family and everything. So it's we've had a tough day, 4 laps on 600, and I was asleep on that thing at the beginning of the race. I was in P8 on that. I didn't know what was going on, and then I did a lap on the scale electric bike as well. So I've done 9 laps today. So I'm ready for a beer in bed. I'm getting old.
Still a prize presentation to go yet this evening.
Okay, if I'm going to pick that top trophy up, I'm going.
I thought you might be there. Inevitably now, with the amount of wins you've had and 35 podiums, you're only 5 now behind Joey, who leads there, Joey Dunlop. 19 TT wins, and you're getting closer. Inevitably, the questions are going to start coming, aren't they? Can you keep going?
You tell me. I don't know. If
maybe you shouldn't answer that right now.
If I'm feeling good and people are still prepared to give me competitive bikes, and I've absolutely no reason at the moment to retire. I still feel as good as ever, and I was 40 years old. Like keep repeating myself, but Joey was 48 and won 3 at 48 years old, and I was Joey's teammate. Which a little shout out there to Joey. That was real special. In 8 years' time, who knows? I could have a few more wins, but maybe if I do get it and step foot on Ireland, I might get hung, so I'll have to be careful. I don't think anybody wants me to catch Joey.
You ever just piss off and give the rest of us a chance, will you?
I think on that note, we'll draw proceedings to a close. Your Royal London 360 Superstock TT top 3. In 3rd place, Ryan Farquhar. In 2nd place, thank you, Michael Dunlop. And our winner, 19 now, John McGuinness.